What's good in the hood, YouTube? This is Crazy Samurai 71 here, bringing you another video. Today's video is a video on Power Rangers. Today it's going to be one for the Power Rangers movie reboot that's supposed to be coming out in 2017. So apparently some news was released. I'm not sure if it was leaked or if it actually was released or not, and whether or not it's confirmed for a fact. It looks like it might be, but I was looking at my phone this morning and I was curious, and I found out that there's some interesting news going around, and I'm actually looking at my phone right now to tell you guys exactly what it is. So there is this quote that was found from a source that said, and I'm gonna read the quote. So before I actually read the quote, I want to say this. This is talking about two characters that were revealed in regard to what their descriptions are. So, and it's pretty interesting. So, for example, the two characters are Rita and Zordon. So, Rita Repulsa, this is her character description for the movie. A huntress, striking yet supplely alien-looking woman. She carries a metallic staff topped with a distinctive crescent shape. Advances with a soldier's confidence, guided by some sort of compass. Her staff is actually a device of immense power. She points it at the ground. Heads emerge, built layer upon layer like 3D printing made from the earth itself. The staff technology grants her the ability to create humanoid figures, soulless and robotic. Okay, first of all, I'm kind of interested. It's different. I like what they're doing. Clearly this is not based off of the original, because the original, they had the putty machine that would do it. If you watch, like, I think it would even be like the first episode even, you saw a machine. If you watch Day at the Dumpster, you see that they use machines, and Finster's the one that makes it. In this case, they're referring to Rita making them using her magic staff. Her staff, as many people know, is meant for the purposes of making her monsters grow. I mean, that's her phrase. Magic wand, make my monsters grow. So it's a little different. The other thing is that they describe them as robotic. That is unusual because they're known as putties originally. So maybe this is based on the Z putties. Or maybe it's an entirely new form of putties, or maybe it's not even putties. It's obviously not Tangas. I doubt it's Tangas. That would make no sense at all because they're supposed to be humanoid. So, if anything, they're probably either putties, Z putties, or some other newer form that's meant to be robotic and metallic. So, interesting. I like the whole entire idea with the wand and how she makes it go down, and then these fingers come up, and it's like 3D printing, which is interesting. I like the wording of that. It's very accurate. The fact that they describe her as a alien-looking woman, I'm hoping that doesn't necessarily imply. I'm not against her looking alien-like, because I mean she is from a different planet or whatever. But at the same time, I don't necessarily she needs to represent Rita. So if she doesn't have alien-like is fine. It just needs to at least not look too alien. Like, that's my biggest concern with that. But overall, I'm okay with this. I think it sounds interesting. A little different from what we know from like the regular shows or whatever. But anyway, let's move on. So our other character is supposed to be Zordon, and I will read you the description. His description is a lot shorter. So his says, though alien, he looks like a man in his 50s, sinewy and strong, as if carved from some root that refused to die, a being of integrity and iron will. There's actually a continuation on this quote. I'm actually going to go to this other site really quickly. Just give me 2 seconds, guys. All right, here it is. That's not the right one. That's Rita's again. Where is he? Sorry, 1 second, guys. Okay. No, actually, it's about. Yeah, never mind. That's right. Okay, so that was his. I thought there was an extra bit on that, but you may be wondering. Okay, so that's Zordon. So he's supposed to be in his 50s, which is a little bit unusual because, as we know, Zordon doesn't necessarily look like he's in his 50s. The other thing that they say is that he's supposed to look like a he's supposed to look like an alien. So okay, that's reasonable, I guess. He's supposed to be very strong. And he's supposed to be a being of integrity and iron will, which makes a lot of sense. Now, this is the interesting thing. First of all, they're choosing, okay, we're gonna make Zordon the Red Ranger. What? Like, where did that come from? That's what I heard, and I was just like, I mean, that's not a bad thing. It's very different. When I first heard that, before finding out more, is that I was thinking, maybe this is meant to connect to the Sentai a little bit, just because of the fact that in the Sentai, they're supposed to be ancient beings that come from the past, and they're summoned because of the fact that the evil witch or whatever from the Sentai is attacking, and now they need to be summoned back, and they've been like hibernating, I guess you could say, for thousands of years, which is different. The way that they describe it, and this I'm not sure if it's exactly a fact, but apparently, so I'm going to read this this paragraph that's written by an article that I found. It says, the Power Rangers reboot will apparently introduce this new version of Zordon as the original Red Ranger during a prologue where he's shown battling Rita on Earth. Yeah, he's going to battle Rita on Earth back when there are still dinosaurs roaming around. So this is gonna be like a prologue. Like, this has never been done before. Power Rangers has never shown that. Never shown what, like, Rita and Zordon's battle. We always heard about them having a feud. We never got to see that. I like that. That's actually something that's interesting. I'm curious about how they're gonna do that, and what that's gonna mean overall. I like the idea though. Anyway, let's see if there's anything else about that. Let's see. It's supposed to also start off in the beginning of ancient time that explores the history behind its main villains and heroes alike. If it ain't broken, don't. Okay, that was someone else's comment on it. And you know what? I like the idea of the fact that they're going to do a prologue to it. I like that. Zordon and Rita are supposed to fight. I'm curious, because that also means that if they're going to fight, Rita's never known for, fighting. But then again, this is movie-based, and they could use completely different actors to do stunt work. I'm curious about that. Also, I'm curious if she's supposed to be like a thinner character, because, Rita's not necessarily the lightest character. If you've watched the show, and just in general, she doesn't seem that light, and usually we never see her fight. And when I say fight, I mean like fist fight, or even do any like battles with Zordon. Never do we really see Zordon ever doing that. And I'm curious if, though they say he's supposed to be human, one thought I have is that possibly the way that this movie might end up going, this is just my thought. I don't think that it's a fact. But what I'm thinking might happen is that maybe, because that's supposed to be a prologue and he's supposed to be the Red Ranger, maybe what they're gonna do is that if they do, because they've mentioned a few times in a number of articles and also just in general, they've quoted themselves by saying that like this might be a series of movies that they might do. And if that's true, what that could mean is that maybe the movie ends with Zordon going into his state that we see him in normally in the show, where he's in that pod and we only see his head. Maybe that's what they're gonna do. I think that if they choose that, it'd be very different, but I don't think it would be terrible. Sure, people would be like, whoa, how is that gonna work? Is someone gonna take over as the Red Ranger? Which I think wouldn't be bad per se. I mean, personally, I would like it. I mean, it would be good if it weren't Zordon to be the Red Ranger, but at the same time, Zordon being the Red Ranger isn't a bad idea. It's an interesting one. It's very different. It kind of makes a lot of sense because of the fact that, he came from a different planet, and maybe he was a warrior, and he did fight Rita like in the past. So for all we never knew for a fact what he did, whether or not, because in the show he was referred to as a wizard. And the thing is that that could be an interesting idea, and I think that if they go into that further and they make it work, I think that could be very cool. Personally, it's a mystery as to what they're going to really do. All I can say right now is that I hope you guys are hyped for the movie. I know it's it's 2015 now. It's gonna be 2017 by the time that happens. But we haven't even received our first trailer yet. We haven't even seen our logo for the movie yet. There's currently speaking at the licensing expo, they're supposedly going to release the logo, possibly either in the next couple of days or maybe it'll be a while from now. But we haven't even seen the logo yet. Personally, I'm waiting for a trailer. I'm waiting for a logo. That's why I posted that last video about Dino Supercharge. This is for Power Rangers, the reboot movie. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video again. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and remember to check out all the other awesome content on this channel, such as that Dino Supercharge confirmation, some other information related to it. Anyway, guys, check that all out. Check everything else out. And anyway, guys, this has been Crazy Samurai 71, and goodbye.